Today in CodeTechTalk, we're going to discuss Calc and how to use it. Calc is a CSS function that allows you to make calculations when setting CSS property values. According to MDN Web Docs, it can be used anywhere a length, frequency, angle, time, percentage, number, or integer is allowed. The link to the full article and the practice files used to create this video will be in the description below. With Calc function, you are able to do basic mathematical operations such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And just like in your algebra class, you can combine multiple operations and separate them by parentheses. So whatever is inside a parenthesis will be handled first before moving to the next operation. So why would you use Calc? Before Calc was added to CSS, you would use JavaScript to figure out the width of the element or window you were trying to affect, which led to repetitive code and a bloated system just to lay out elements on the page. If you were not using JavaScript, then maybe you had to pull out your calculator and do some real math based on what you were trying to accomplish. With Calc, we can set up a basic mathematical equation that lets your browser figure it out. And the best part is that if you wanted to mix and match different value types such as percentages, EM, REM, pixels, etc., this lets you do so. For example, let's create a grid system that's made of 7 columns. Before Calc was added, we would pull out the calculator and take 100 and divide it by 7, and then multiply it by the amount of column space our column would occupy. The results were very long percentages, and of course, if you wanted to be accurate, you would actually have to type up all the numbers and decimals the calculator provided. The worst part is that if you later on decided to change the column system to 9 columns instead of 7, you would have to do the calculations all over again. With Calc, we can just set up the width property for the element we want to do the calculation in, and then type in Calc, open parentheses, the number of the columns you wanted the element to occupy in space, in our case it's 1, and then multiply to the result of 100 divided by 7. Don't forget to close the parentheses. Take notice that I place a space between the operators and the values, not only for aesthetics, but also because at least the addition and subtraction operators require it. If you want the full list of operators, you can see them in the article described below. When I save the file, you can see that the columns with a class of col-1 are now aligned next to each other and spaced evenly, filling out the full width of the container. If you want to try it out, I have placed a link to the GitHub repository where you can find this file and test out adding Calc to the rest of the grid system to see how the page continues rendering and how a grid system works. A full tutorial to create a grid system will be completed soon. I hope you see the benefits of using Calc in your CSS as well as to put this knowledge into practice. If you have any questions, please feel free to add your comments below. Cheers.